Chapter 8 School and Grandpa and Grandma. The morning dawned bright and clear. Diane scampered around the house, gathering her new backpack and school supplies. "Are you ready for your first day of school?" Shirley excitedly asked as she helped Diane with her last-minute details. "I think so," Diane said, "but my stomach has butterflies in it. I can't decide if the butterflies are excited or nervous." Mom quickly packed the children in the car. "Come, Diane, you don't want to be late for your first day." Diane quickly zipped up her backpack. "I can't wait to learn to read all the words by myself," she announced as she shut the door. "Then you can read me stories," Angela grinned up at her. One December morning, Diane gazed out the school window and watched the snowflakes daintily fall to the ground. "Tonight I am sleeping at Grandpa and Grandma Brubaker's house. They have the cutest bunnies, and Grandpa will read to me all evening while Grandma makes yummy food." Diane excitedly told her friend Mary at lunchtime about their plans for the evening. As the children gathered to sit in a circle for story time, Mrs. Martin called Diane forward. "Diane, your grandpa will be picking you up right after school." Diane's face beamed proudly. The clock seemed to tick slower than ever, and Diane fidgeted in her seat. Mrs. Martin rang the little bell on her desk. "Children, because of the snowstorm, school will be dismissed at 2 o'clock today. Please try to finish your math problems before dismissal." "An extra hour with Grandpa and Grandma," Diane whispered excitedly to Mary. As soon as the bell rang, Diane burst out of school. There stood Grandpa waiting for her. She slipped her small hand into his large, calloused hand. "I'm so glad to see you, Grandpa." He slipped her backpack off and carried it with his other hand. "We've been anticipating your coming. Grandma made some oatmeal cookies, and the bunnies are waiting for you to feed them." Diane stepped through the door and was greeted by a warm hug from Grandma and the smell of freshly baked cookies. Later that evening, after the bunnies had been fed and supper had been eaten, Diane snuggled in beside Grandpa on the sofa. I do believe it is story time." Grandpa chuckled as he put on his reading glasses. "Which story do you want to hear tonight?" Diane picked up the book of Bible stories and carefully looked through it until she had decided. "This one," she said, pointing to the picture of a boy in a colorful coat. "Long ago, there was a boy named Joseph. Now Joseph had many brothers, but they did not like him all the time." Grandpa began to read. Grandpa read through several stories until Diane's eyes started to droop. He slowly closed the book while pulling Diane close and said, "I do believe it's time for you to go to bed, young lady. You need to be ready for school tomorrow morning." "Please read just a little more," Diane pleaded as she leaned back and looked up at Grandpa. Grandpa laughed and opened the book back up to where he had stopped. They were almost at the end of the story. "And then Joseph and his father were reunited once again." Grandpa finished reading. "Now it's time to go to bed." He slowly carried her to her room. Grandma came in and tucked Diane into bed. "Sweet dreams," she softly whispered as she kissed her forehead. Diane closed her eyes and listened to the wind dancing through the pine trees outside. She thought about Joseph and how God had taken care of him even during the difficult times. She also thought about some of the things that had happened to her family since they moved to the city, but she knew that God would take care of her, just like he did for Joseph.